The idea of expelling the Palestinians from Gaza is deplorable. Any decent human being should be vehemently opposed to that idea. It's inhumane, cruel, and amounts to crime against humanity. It should be condemned by any decent human being. But it's also contrary to logic, because the Jewish state of Israel's logic is that if it expels the Palestinians from Gaza, that should and would strengthen the Jewish democracy. The problem with that is that Jewish democracy is failure. It's contrary to the idea of democracy. It's an oxymoron. You cannot have a Jewish democracy. What will happen is, if the Palestinians are expelled, that the Jews are going to find themselves alone within themselves, and they will have to deal with the reality of a Jewish democracy, which is contrary to democracy and an absolute failure. Because Jewish democracy, the way Israel created that democracy, is without a constitution, without separation between the parliament, the Knesset, and the Israeli government. It's the same people. It's not separation. Without a decent, honest Supreme Court, because in Israel, the Supreme Court is created by the Knesset. So basically, you have the Knesset, which controls the government, it's the same people, and controls the Supreme Court. And eventually, the lack of separation will show its ugly face. It already is showing that. This is why we have all these issues in Israeli government, all these corruptions, because the Israeli governmental system lacks transparency. It is not based on a constitution. And because it is not based on a constitution, it does not have an independent legislative body, independent executive body, and I'm saying independent of each other, and does not have an independent Supreme Court. It's basically a system that was created in order to exclude the Palestinians. But if the Palestinians are physically excluded, then the Jews in Israel, the Israelis, will face the government that they have created against themselves. The existence of the Palestinians in Palestine, in Israel, is the best thing for the Jews in order to achieve what they wanted to begin with, which is peace and security. Let me repeat that. The Palestinians are the best thing for the Jews to have and to accomplish peace and security. Why? Because of the lack of trust between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Yes, the lack of trust will lead to transparency. You don't really need trust. You need transparency. The Israelis don't trust each other. The Palestinians don't trust each other. The Palestinians vis-a-vis the Israelis don't trust each other. You don't need trust. You need transparency. And the only way to create transparency is by having a constitution that's separate between government and religion, that gives everyone equality, and spells out the function of the legislative body, the parliament, as separate from the executive body, the government, and separate from the Supreme Court. All of these branches of government must be created and derive their power from the Constitution, not from one body, one Knesset giving powers to the executive and to the Supreme Court. So the Palestinians and the Israelis living together will require, because of their lack of trust, to create a system of transparency, a system of